Yerp. Welcome to your monthly peace report for cancer season of 2024. This is the Peace of Dealers, and I hope you are excited for this cancer season, which I have appropriately titled Feeling the New You. Because I believe that that's what you're going to be doing this season. There are different iterations of this. Oh, you're so welcome. And by the way, shout out to all of you in the chat. You're going to be feeling yourself like you've never felt yourself. The beautiful, the bad, the good, the bad, the ugly. You're going to be looking at the ugly parts of yourself and realize, wow, they were never really ugly at all. I allowed other people or influences to, influence me to believe that this was ugly in any way. And you might be looking at stuff you used to be proud of, like, I'm even more proud of it. Or, wow, okay, in light of greater maturity and understanding, I understand it. Understanding feeling, understanding cancer season shenaniganery. All right. So what's good? First of all, shout out to the cancers. Shout out to the cancer suns. Shout out to the cancer moons and risings. Am I allowed to say this yet? The fact that since 2008, you have all been targeted and massacred. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke, who died when Kronos, the Reaper, was exactly 180 degrees to his sun, and he literally died in that nature as well. Is it too early to say that, the cancers who are saying that they're being targeted aren't just being paranoid? Am I allowed to say that yet? I wanted to wait more until after Saturn left Aqua and Pluto was more in Aqua, but it is coming back into Capricorn. So given this peak level of gaslighting done collectively to people's emotions everywhere, I didn't want to speak too soon. It is what it is. I had my Venus and Taurus transit talk taken down, by the way. It didn't get striked, but I got a notification earlier that it got taken down because I talked about the thing I guess I'm not supposed to talk about, and I think you know what I'm talking about, and they just taking down my shit. All right, slowly but sure. So I'm gonna rip the audio out and upload it on a podcast, but or audio. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, cancers. I'm not gonna lie. I did initially look at you guys like y'all were a little delusional. I was like, maybe you just think you're feeling, I didn't know at the time you were just being uber psychic and just feeling the vibes. Like now when a cancer woman told me that she saw a demon possess somebody just so that they can get in a car accident with them, I fully, when I heard that, old me would have been like, this bitch delusional. New me, present me is like, oh, she's spitting game. I believe it. I'm a progressed cancer now. I don't know how the fuck y'all do it. As a 22-degree progressed cancer on my progressed 22 Jupiter cancer, I don't know how you fucking do it. At first it was a breeze. I was like, these people just emotional. They can't handle the vibe. Now I'm just drowning in the pool of my own feelings. Like, how the fuck do y'all do this? How do y'all deal with other people's stank ass vibrations? How do you do this, Cancer? I'm waiting to go into Leo so I could talk shit with my chest, be like, roar! I still have 8 years that Cancer. I don't know how you do it. Cancer Moon, I don't know how you do it. Cancer Rising, I don't know how you do it. Cancer Sun, you got me looking at y'all a little different. Like, how you just walk into a room already feeling other people's feelings, knowing they be on bullshit before they even open their mouth. I don't know how you do that. Have a whole conversation with someone lying to your face. You know why and how they lying, and you still polite to that. I don't, not fake. I'm not saying you being fake, because some of you say it to their face. I don't know how you can just live an entire 3/4 of your life getting gaslighted by everybody you know, because you so psychic and call out their emotions. Now they have to lie to you. And I'm saying that as someone who did that to y'all religiously as well, pre-Saturn return. You're not just about to tell me how I feel better than I know how to feel my feelings And now I have to deny that you even knew what I was feeling with your psychic powers because I don't want to feel exposed. Still, I don't know how you do it. I don't want to know how you do it. I'm about done with this. I thought I learned everything I need to, and there's the waters always get deeper with y'all. What's up with that? You be thinking, okay, I finally get it. No, the water goes even deeper. You and Scorpio is crazy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So I'm sorry, not sorry. Shout out to Ton of Vision. This has not been fun. And then on top of this, I had to also go through the Pluto opposition. I had to go through the Pluto opposition. Imagine you making fun of someone for being emotional and trying to be a little bit like Pisces and play victim. And then you go through what they go through and you realize, damn, they weren't lying. They really get targeted because it's kind of happening to you too. I hate this shit. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good, but it is psychic. So it does feel good in that way. Y'all psychic in a motherfucker, but it is what it is. So shout out to you cancers. If you ever felt like you were ever being targeted, even in a faint way, I am here to tell you humbly, congratulations. That opposition is over. All right. And it is about to get so much worse. See, you are getting targeted, but only in the way with which the adjustment was to lock onto you. And now now that they've targeted you, the way they're gonna begin at you is going to be alien. And being in this space, it's a very rare few people who are in this space. You know, like Virgo doesn't have to deal with this because they stay with receipts. And Aries, Taurus, I don't think Taurus to a degree, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo have to deal with this. Where our eighth house is the elite level. So it's like the beings you deal with aren't even really human. It's really weird for Aquarius. It's really weird for Cancer because your eighth house Aquarius. So like you can deal with whole collectives of people who are possessed by groupthink, and like you'll see how they're being sent at you, but they may not realize. So you're still dealing with people one on one, and that's just barely the surface. But congratulations for making it past the first part of this Hunger Games for over a decade. They're not even trying to hide anymore. Okay. Like this is the next level of Hunger Games. And Cancer, all you have really managed to do, I'm supposed to hop into this peace report, but we have to talk, Cancer. All you have managed to do was just make yourself more of a threat than you already made yourself. Some of you cancers aren't even shutting your mouth. You're just exposing everything you can, like this fake, that fake, this motherfucker fake. Why are you lying, bitch? And it's like, Cancer, I get it, but like these people want you dead. I don't think you understand, Cancer. You have made a lot of enemies. And I mean this in the most platonic, lighthearted facets. You've drawn the line in the sand, and that's the only thing that's keeping you alive right now, because there are advanced boundaries you have to draw for aliens who can influence collectives of people to send at you. Aquarius is non-emotional, it's fully detached. Okay, so you have to be more on point than you've ever been. When I say it's going to get so much worse, I'm saying think about what Cancer represents. If Capricorn is the manufactured collective corporation and Cancer is that individual feeling that they spend advertiser money to dupe you or to connect with you, we're a brand you can trust. Gotcha, bitch. It is what it is. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be funny. That being said, this is the individual psychic feeling. So I can hide a lot. I can suppress some proof. I can suppress Gemini and suppress your speech, but you're a different level of a threat if you can feel something that I haven't brought to the surface and bring it out. And y'all do that shit and it makes people uncomfortable. All right. Y'all think and then that's the worst part about you, Cancer. You think you're fucking slick. I've seen you. You and Libra think you're slick because you have superpowers. So like y'all comment slick if you've experienced this with cancers. Cancers are going to kind of like use their psychic powers, but they're going to pretend they're not using their psychic powers. You're not that slick. Sagittarius is that slick. And it's a fucking problem. I don't like the fuck that they like you and Libra be thinking you slick. And it's like, no, we see, like we know, like Cancer be thinking they slick like that. Like they'll just read your mind real quick. But I mean, like, yeah, I know you were thinking about that. But they'll do it in a way where it's like they're not gonna try and bring attention to it. Libra gonna try and be a little bit more noticeable, like they a stage magician. And it's like you're not that slick. Scorpio is that slick, and it's a problem. Sag is that slick, and it's a problem. And see, Cancer is more slick than Libra because Cancer is a water sign, and water is kind of slick. So they gonna be a bit more slick. It's gonna come off corny for Libra. I'm sorry, but Cancer gonna be a little more slick. But y'all are not that slick. Y'all are not that slick. I swear to God, y'all swear you are that slick, and they be using their psychic powers a little bit here and there. Like, yeah, I knew you was feeling that. Like, oh, by the way, you know what I'm saying? Tell your grandma that she gonna be okay. Bitch, how the fuck did you know I was thinking about my grandma? You not slick. Cancer, stop. Stop doing that. Why did you just say that randomly and then walk away like that shit was organic? You're not that slick, Cancer. Chill. All right. And you kind of be inviting this. So there you go. I have to suppress your psychic power now because now I can't. If you're gonna bring to light some stuff that's supposed to be hidden because you want to be fucking psychic out of nowhere, now you're like, why am I getting targeted? 5 minutes before you calling out like 5,000 people, 5 people wondering why people want to end you for it. Cancer, I'm sorry, like it is what it is. So for those of you who see, they think it's funny. Y'all don't even know. Cancer is one of those signs that'll like make you do something. You wouldn't even know they made you do it. You will think it is your idea. Whole time they implanted the idea in your brain. Yes, they are clean. They are clean with that. Pisces takes it to another level. Pisces will literally visit you in your dream and inception you, and you'll wake up like, oh my God, I knew what I should do. I swear to God. When I found that out about Pisces, I started looking at them different. Like, y'all shouldn't even be allowed here. What are you doing here? Scorpio will literally control your mind. They will do some root work on you, make a fucking doll, and start controlling you. These niggas is evil. I'm sorry. I should have said it. But hold on. All right, I don't even want to do this water sign shit because I don't know. Team air. I don't know. Water, I feel like you've gotten away with hiding your powers for so long. And I know science is trying to make you believe that you don't exist, but you know, I learned some things, and I have been seeing the silent beef. I don't know if you guys know, water and fire signs are still beefing. You know what I'm saying? Every time earth and air, you know, instigated and then force them to make a truce, they always kick it off. So if you don't know, water signs are still beefing with fire signs to this day. All right, there is a Leo somewhere getting shaded on by a Scorpio and a Cancer. There is a Pisces pretending they're good friends with a Leo, even though they hate each other. Or there's a Sagittarius and a Pisces right now acting like they're good friends, even though they are constantly throwing shade at each other. This has been a beef that has been happening for a long time. Prayers up, because the fire signs were winning for a period, and then the water signs came up again. The water signs have been kicking ass for a long time. Water signs are having the fire signs. Blah, 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 blah. Well, see, the fire signs are finna come back. Fire signs are about to lead again over the next couple of years and start getting back at the fire signs. So I'm just letting you know. It is what it is. And I'm already being watched and targeted. That's the thing. It's just I'm not an actual water sign. They treat Gemini like we're subpar and subrate. So it's cool. I'll be all right. Hopefully not really, but I hope I'll be all right for real. So I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that tangent out the way. Shout out to you. You are feeling the new you. All right. That's the theme of this Cancer season. And now, if we take into account that since 2012, 2013, Jupiter, Zeus was the last in Cancer. So you went on an evolution cycle integrating this new depth of character. But Pluto was still in Capricorn. So we were still exposing all of these people and corporations getting found out, Pluto squaring Uranus and Aries, revolts, revolutions in certain countries. Not that that's new, but like the nature of this relative to what has been built up since then. And now, since 2023, we have reinitiated this cycle. Saturn is ending its karmic cycle. So you have at this point activated the evolution of this new version of yourself. I think it's very important to just kind of keep it a buck. It's a shame, I guess, due to the failure of the education system, that simply talking about reflections of the language of transits, and here correlating it is contested. It's anything as other than science. It's a shame, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm trying to make sure we're clear here. 2020 to 2022 was the collective awakening of humanity. It was the updated version of this. Humanity goes through collective awakenings, I think, as frequently as everyone with an iPhone gets a firmware update. That's literally the best analogy I can give you for a collective, spiritual, supernatural soul awakening, right? That happens beyond just the physical. If you want to think that collectively, a whole bunch of people who don't know each other can receive an update, and they can individually make the choice to update their phone, that is the same way that collectively everyone awakens, but individually the way they integrate that is going to be different. Because of course, your vessel, your body, your personality is unique like a snowflake. Your fingerprint is unique like a snowflake compared to everybody else. So the way that you personalize what everyone is collectively downloading, right? So that happened 2020, the start of the apocalypse cycle that brought in the final phase, the end game. Say it with me, the end game. Okay. Then we had population control, 2021 to 2023, Saturn in Aquarius. Take with that information what you will. And we have population control every 30 years. All right. Population Aquarius, control Saturn. Take with that information what you will. I'm not saying it's good or bad. This is just an inevitable facet. However it like expresses itself, I guess it depends on the quality of whoever is a part of it. But of course, now, since then, Jupiter, that was in Capricorn to Pisces, representing this collective evolution, and the group test that we all collectively failed, unfortunately, has now led to Jupiter through Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. This is like the teacher. If you think Jupiter is the ninth house teacher as well, this is like the teacher now being a good teacher and realizing, hey, all you guys who did the work, you guys failed the test so fucking bad that we're grading you guys individually now. So you guys still failed the group test, but we're going down just to kind of give you your individual rewards because the teachers are not fucking stupid. So basically what happened is the group test we did fail, unfortunately. But what's happening is everyone individually, 2023, 2024, and the rest of this year, late 2022 into now, Jupiter through Aries, Taurus, and Gemini is the teacher coming individually and being like, what was your part? What did you do in the group part? And whatever that part was, that's what's evolving. All right. Everything that you the decisions you made 2020, 2021, 2022, you're reinforcing, but it's coming back to expand almost as if to show, hey, this behavior expanded is not balanced, is leading to something horrible, is actually evolving you for the better. So this is coming into an individual relative to 2010, because 2010 was the last time we had this evolution cycle. More lore for you. Every time, if you want to know the significance of, here's just one of the most significant things that happened during a Jupiter cycle. The Jupiter cycle is going to set in place the Saturn returns each generation is going to get. Why is that important? Because the last time 2010 Jupiter went through its cycle, where was Saturn? Saturn was transiting through Virgo, and now it's in Pisces. So you mean to tell me Saturn went all the way around? And we can go back. All right. We did the research here. Pluto in Scorpio, right? When Pluto entered Scorpio in the 90s, Saturn was in Scorpio. And then it traveled all the way to Aries. And guess what happened? Pluto entered Sagittarius. Guess what happened from 1995 to 2008? Pluto that just entered Sagittarius, right? Saturn was in Aries. It went all the way around in Virgo. You had people born 2001 while Saturn was in Gemini, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. So all the way Saturn down here. And then what happened? Pluto went into Capricorn. Well, what happened when Pluto was in Capricorn? Saturn went from Virgo all the way around to Pisces, and now Pluto's going to Aquarius. You see that pattern? If you study the Saturn-Pluto cycles of any event, you will see by date and second how the beginning, middle, and end of like every conflict. And I'm going to prove that by making a video about Israel and the conflict with Palestine. We're going to go back in time, and I'm going to spell out for you the Pluto-Saturn cycle of the institution of Israel by the Rothschilds moving forward all the way to at present, and show you how relative to these cycles you can tie them towards each part of each conflict, and it'll tell a very compelling story. But the reason why I want to bring this up is every Jupiter cycle prepares the next generation of children to come of power. So whereas the last Jupiter cycle, who had their Saturn returns, all the children born in the mid 80s to the early 90s. And now this next Jupiter cycle, who's having their Saturn return? All the children born from the mid 90s all the way to the early 2000s. And let me tell you something. The mid 90s to early 2000 kids, they're wild. They're burning everything up. So this shift is going to be very different. All of this is happening while Pluto Aquarian alien babies are being born. And that's something that I kind of lament that people aren't making a bigger deal about. If people understood what's happening, they would be terrified. Every country in the world would have an embargo and limit how many kids you're allowed to have. But see, nobody knows that these kids are that diabolical. Okay. If you want proof of this, just look at any child born from 2008 to 2023 and look in their eyes and tell me you don't see a little sinister in them. Tell me those kids don't grow up knowing too much already. That's the only generation to grow up with an iPad. And so they already have information on. Imagine I give birth to a kid and that kid is arguing with me because they looked up information on Google and debunked me. So I can't even gaslight the kid now and lie to the kid just so I could be the adult who was right. That kid gonna fact check me with Google. That's the Pluto Capricorn kids that exist now. Some of these kids have a YouTube channel making more money than people my age have never made ever. Those are the Pluto Cap kids. They're gonna rule the world in like a short decade. That's not terrifying to you for some reason. Okay. Well, now there's Pluto Aquarius kids. These are literal alien babies. These kids are being born with AI. I don't even know why you would have a kid. Some of you are meant to. I understand. It's a beautiful thing. It ain't crazy, but you're giving birth to alien babies. I don't know why you would do this. They're not even going to listen to you when they're 2 or when they're 14. They're just going to be using telekinesis and like calling you a mortal. They're going to be calling you a human. Do you want your 5-year-old to talk about, shut up, human, you can't tell me what to do? I'm sorry. And then just start speaking alien, have a baby. Have a baby. Congratulations, Amanda. Congratulations. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. You got an alien, baby. But I'm just saying. And August is right when it might retrograde back into Capricorn. So, you know, I don't think that makes it any better. The apocalypse babies were born 2020. So having a child with Pluto 25 to 29 degrees Capricorn, you just gave birth to a dictator. I'm just letting you know that right now. They're going to have a desire to rule the world by 5. And then that's a goat. That's a baby goat you got right there. But still, I'm just saying, I'm just like, let's just give this the respect it deserves. It is what it is. So if you're somehow, if you know now that you're going to be giving birth to alien babies and that hasn't deterred you or terrified you, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. I'm telling you, when that kid starts saying at 4 years old, so what do you want to do? I want to take over the world. Listen, that's it. That's it. That's it. It's over. It's over. They've already started plotting. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Just support your kid now so that when they eventually come to dictator, they remember you supported them. You see, yes, you don't want these kids to rebel. But yes, it is what it is. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because we have to make sure we're clear. Like we're stepping into a new version of ourselves. 2022, 2023, 2024. Jupiter reinitiating the cycle with now the new generation of children being born. The thing about the new gen of children since 95, they're the new generation of gods, what we call the new gods. What you had, I think, up until this point was, and I'm just speaking lore, so you don't have to take this too literally. I'm using this as an analogy. Let's just say the reincarnation and return of previous gods have come back, you know, a resurgence of religious faith systems and ancient traditions that came back. Then you have the new gods. The new generation are a bunch of god slayers. They're going to innovate science. They're going to innovate religion and faith systems. They're not carrying on what was forced on us, basically. So we're going to feel that. We're going to feel that through the next year or two as we shift eras, as Pluto goes into Aquarius and Saturn goes into Aries and Uranus goes into Gemini. This is going to be one of those shifts like in 2008 and 2012 when we had those previous shifts. So just making sure we're clear, Jupiter through Aries, which had already happened, Jupiter through Taurus, which has already happened, and Jupiter through Gemini, which is currently happening, is equivalent to you finishing a book about your life over the past decade. And now you're reading a new book. You're like on the first few chapters of this new book. Okay. You're wearing new clothes. So if you take clothes that you had 13 years ago, they're not going to fit you the same. You don't have to have grown that dramatically, but they're not going to fit you the same. Your style 13 years ago is not the same. It's not. There's certain things you might have typed on the internet 13 years ago that will make you cringe right now. Or you'll be like, I knew I was a real one. I don't care. It is what you feel me? So like you now is not you 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. So you are putting on new clothes. That was the whole point of 2023 up until now. 2022 and 2023 up until now was you coming to the realization that the old clothes, the old situations, the old relationships you have, they don't fit you anymore. And your swag is way different. Like you thought you had swag before. It's way different. It's on 110,000 now. It's 110 million. You don't even like eat food the same. Okay. 10 minutes ago, you might cringe. That's some real shit, right? Some of you, you're on your villain era. Some of you started this off as a hero. You've lived long enough to become the villain. It's different. It's different. Do you feel me? So the whole first couple of chapters was, I need to get new drip. Literally last year, all of last year to the first half of this year is, we need to get new drip. That was it. That was the drip chapter. That was I need to change my wardrobe. I value entirely different things now. They've leveled up. I don't value the same things the way I used to value them. I have a whole decade's worth of experience. So you have gotten a new drip. And this is now the part of the book where you're going out in your neighborhood with this new drip. And now people are like, oh, what happened? Did you change? You look different. Oh, well, this is what's happening this year. And that's why there's arguments, because what's also happening, people are hating. Some people are like, oh, you think you different now? You think you different now? Oh, you didn't do this before. I didn't need to pay for this before. How come I have to pay now? You feel me? So this is that part of the book. So up until this point, we still haven't reached the climax of this book yet. We still haven't even stepped into the conflict that's the rest of this year and next year. We still haven't necessarily, we're still active. I'm not saying you're not going through conflicts, but the reason why this resonates so crazy with you is because, okay, we are finally at the point where we've just activated this new direction of yourself. You realizing you need new clothes, you got new drip, you're just now taking it out. So this is the first Cancer season post all of this. All right. This is the first. If they hate now, wait until you win. Wait until you win and win some more. And how that even goes. Some of you haven't even gone through that phase yet, where you're just like, you're not happy to see me win. I thought you'd be happy. Some of you have gone through that before. You haven't gone through it like this. Watch. This is about to be so amazing. And progression Cancer, I'm becoming more psychic. And the reason why I love that you said this is everyone through this Cancer season is going to be substantially more psychic. And by psychic, I do mean being able to discern subtle vibrations and nuances without the need for inductive or deductive reasoning. Basically feeling and knowing shit. All right. And not always knowing why you're feeling and knowing. Okay. But being able to integrate that with analysis. So you're not just delusional. The fraud is going to make shit up. The one who does due diligence is going to connect how what they're feeling is based in reality. Boom. Psychic ability. All right. So with that being said, this is you breaking in this new feeling of yourself for the first time since you've activated the direction and value of this new character, and you are currently evolving the vocabulary. You are feeling the new you. So let me give you an idea of what that's going to be like. Actually insane. I've seen it on camera. I've seen it in person. I will always have this story with Janice about how she called me out over the phone. Y'all do that all the time. Y'all need to chill. Anyway, other than that, imagine you take out a new outfit. You've been there before. You have a fly new outfit. You can't wait to take it out. You feel me? It's like the first time, right? That's right now with Jupiter in the beginning of Gemini. So there's this year feeling the new you, and then there's next year, which will also be feeling the new you. And then there will be the year after that, which will also be feeling the new you. But the difference between that and 2 years from now, right now, we're at the end of the world. 2 years from now, we'll be like a year into the new world order. Okay. So like that's going to be like feeling the new you, while now the entire world system around you is nothing like you've ever seen it ever before. But now this is feeling the new you, while the world system that you're used to is crumbling in front of your face and everyone's going outside. Oh my God, it's crazy. Oh my God, it's crazy. You're on this Noah's Ark, but you still got the fly drip on, versus 2 years from now where you're off of Noah's Ark and you're battling Philistines in your new drip. All right, so I just wanted to give you new nuances so that when you see feeling the new you next year, you know why. Like it's just, we're not just going to do this, 1 year. You don't just get a firmware update. 1 year. All right. So with that being said, right, you're feeling the new you while you're on the Noah's Ark and this bitch is collapsing hard. But like you listen to God, right? So you built your ark. So you're not drowning out here like the rest of these dumb motherfuckers. It's like, I was alive. No. All right. You're just like, told you, bitch. Yeah, you was talking shit. Now you're drowning. Told you that. And I'm just saying it like that because that's real life. That's real. That's how it really is. And you should feel that. Cool. So just making sure we're clear. All right. Perfect. Because Saturn trining Cancer is like you on that arc still sailing towards new land, versus in a couple of years from now where we're going to have Cancer season transits squaring Saturn and Neptune. Now you're on foreign land that you've never been on before. You just got out of a faith ride of an arc, and that's the square. How do I feel myself in this new condition? I want to just give you the gradients. I'm dropping game right here. This is crazy. All right. So with that being said, we're going to talk about feeling the new you. We're going to talk about why over the next 30 to 60 days, the capacity with which you exhibit and experience psychic power and ability, supernatural abilities, will both shock you and it will change the way you believe about your capability forever. This is going to spark, or rather, kick off an integration arc over the entire summer that's going to end in September. What do I mean? With the full and new moon in Cancer, you are activating development of psychic and supernatural potential that by September you will have fully mastered in a way you've never mastered before. And let's even take it deeper if we want to take it there, in a way that you had only initially began to master since 2008, where Saturn was in Virgo. So you had gone through these perspective cycles during this transit at several intervals. And this is the final part of that interval that has you master what you've been perfecting for over a decade and a half. Bars. Okay. Huge. Like this Virgo season this year and especially next year, but this year for sure is going to be iconic. Like everything that has to happen this year is happening this year. That's why a lot of people are going outside, because a lot of people are not going to make it. Not everyone can make it. Not everyone's going to make it to this next era. Not everyone is going to be who. And when I say not everyone's going to make it, you'll see certain people there, but they're not going to be who you knew them as. They're either completely transformed or they died to their old self, versus people who are genuinely graduating and taking this to another level. And Obama time is such a revealing statement. Yes, we can. You need to look, whether you agree with it or not, you need to look at the cultural significance of yes, we can, because the last time Pluto was where it is, right? When Pluto was 0 degrees Capricorn, people were saying yes, we can. Whether you are for or against him, there was this huge public sentiment. It was crazy. So now Pluto is back in a new sign, and we're coming into even more intense cultural movements, like so, for better or for worse. We're seeing it with Biden and Trump. We're seeing it beyond this. So I just wanted to set this, because now what Cancer season also is be real with me. Okay. Where were you last October? I'm talking about September 23rd, 2023. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you September and October of 2023? I want you to comment receipts if you were at the I Told You So tour. Okay. If you be honest, because not everyone was there. I don't want people to start front. If you were at last year's I Told You So tour, and the ticket to get in there were your receipts. You couldn't just go into the I Told You So tour if you didn't have receipts from last year's Virgo season. Last year's Virgo season, you did the due diligence, you did the research, you had receipts, you had the culmination of the analysis of what you stand on, what you speak. And guess what? We took those receipts on an I Told You So tour. I know it was fall of 2023, and we were putting sauce on that by November. By October, November, we started to put so much sauce on that. It was crazy. All right. So for those of you commenting receipts, right? And this is very important because, like she said, people are just exposing themselves left and right. They're giving receipts like that. I am the receipt, right? Cool. For those of you who did that, you've been invited to the I Told You So tour finale. See, the last I Told You So tour was just the introduction. Everything about this I Told You So tour is a full-on transformation of status quo. So now collectively, people are coming up with receipts and facts that transform a lot of what is status quo right now. either because it was a lie to begin with, or it was just a great misunderstanding, right? Well, now terrified certain people, especially if your voices were censored or blocked, because no one expected you to actually come with receipts, right? To actually come with proof, with evidence that you can show that it stands the test of time to this day. We still have these receipts right now, by the way. Bring them out, right? So you've been invited back, and this is the finale. This is going to build up on not only what you did last year, but now take the update of what receipts you're going to come into this year, because there's more. If there's anything last year taught you, it's that there's more. And that's what you're compiling this year. All right. So, like, you're going to, in October, go on that finale. We know because you have receipts. You were a part of the last one. And why is that important? Well, because this cancer season, before we go social and go out on this I Told You So tour, you got to take a shower. You got to take a shower. You got to clean yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to put on your new perfume. That's cancer season. That's it. We're going deep within. We're resituating how we feel. We're updating it relative to, do I still hate this chick? Do I still hate this dude? Fuck them. Or I think we're cool. These are the things that you don't have to do just now. You do it all year. But this is where we can like focus on the alignment of this inevitably happening individually through you, whether you're aware of it or not. Because moving forward, we're going to integrate socially. And shit is literally going to heat up with the Leo season opposite the sun. So I didn't mean to give this disclaimer real quick, but I just wanted to give you a literal feel of what we're going to be talking about right now, because it really is a big deal. And considering that now we are feeling the new us, you're feeling a version of yourself that you are just stepping into. And it's going to take facets of your growth that you couldn't have been conscious of. And this is going to be the season where you feel it. You feel that extra pronounced power. You feel that extra pronounced sense, confidence. This is going to also hit home for you if you've been feeling psychically attacked. You have a failed education system that turned around and blamed you for being smarter than it. So a lot of you do not have the proper research institutions or vocabulary to talk about the real instance of psychic interference, where we are having an electromagnetic field that we actually produce because we produce frequencies and pick them up with our processing brains. And because we don't have enough education on this, this is going to open up paranoid, schizophrenic, auditory, and visual hallucinations, especially in the case where certain people, instead of actually being heard and making sense of this, are diagnosed, given medicine. And that's not really to criticize the medical field, because once again, there's not any education on this. And many of you are gaslighted to believe that most of this shit is in your head. So first of all, props. You are pioneering a way of thinking that has always existed, but has been ridiculed in a certain sense. And for you to now break through into more of a realistic basis of this. I mean, everyone has had their own words to make sense of this experience. And it's not to say that in some cases it's not just a subconscious musing, but because people are very different with how they think about this. But I'm just letting you know, the whole notion of telepathic contact between frequency of brains is only just beginning. Pluto, especially with AI, Pluto in Aquarius is going to intensify this. And it is in your head. Whether you think, it doesn't have to be in a solipsistic way. It is in your head in a way, but just understand separation is an illusion. So there's a way that people will use this and play victim and be like, oh, I can't do anything because I'm being attacked. No, more than not, it's just you tapping into a collective influence that everyone goes through and knowing that it's never going to be more powerful than you. Now, I'm taking this to a deeper step, letting you know that for some of you, there is deeper nuances in where you are connecting with a collective vibration that exists beyond your third dimensional reality. So just like how in a 2D sphere, they're both flat, and as a 3D being, you're going to appear flat to 2D substance. Many of you have been connecting with existences that are metaphysical beyond the 3D. So you have your physical senses, but you're engaging with beings and entire collective frequencies and unconscious frequencies that interact with you outside of the time space that you exist in physically, outside of the range of your smell and hearing. And in the cases where that overlaps with your 3D, you're going to feel that telepathic insight. And the reason why I'm saying that is you can get insight about things that were said a long time ago or things that are about to be said. So this takes it outside of your 3D psychological time, where some of you might confuse it because you try and make 3D sense of it and feel like it has to be attached to this person. It has to be attached to this time or this moment, when these are just the ways in which they interface to you. People who are ascended like Michi or Pisces, they live this, but they don't know how to put it into words like Gemini can. And even at that sense, Gemini, we're not aware like they're aware. So this is where now in an information age where we can put all these realizations together and form this megazord of consciousness, it doesn't mean that we still won't kind of have to call ourselves out on what we're mistaken on, but we can move forward in unexplored territory. All right. The consequences of an unregulated field. And on top of that, your capacity to engage through your imagination in ways that align with reality have quintessentially evolved. And the understanding of these phenomena collectively across humanity has also evolved. So now you get to really fully feel it. This Cancer season is going to feel like the previous years you were drinking water out of a small cup. And now, for the first time this season, you are given a bigger cup. And it's like, whoa. So I don't have to keep filling this cup like every 5 minutes. Now you can, like, this represents your body. It represents the pool of information and energy you can harness. So this is going to feel amazing. And it's important to note that this is really just part 1 and 2, because next year is where Jupiter is going to come into Cancer. And now this is where we dive deeper into the plot of the book, basically throughout this year. So this year is you just leaving the house with your new clothes. And now the end of this cycle coming into next year is you already took the new clothes out to the club. You know what I'm saying? You already took it to everywhere you want to take it. You already know. Yeah. Now at the end of this cycle, you'll be like, yeah, these motherfuckers was hating, but I was shining. It's the conclusion. It's like, okay, this is how, yeah, I knew I was fly. I had everyone looking at this, but you're not there yet. We're not there yet. We are now just taking this new fit out. You're now just like, ooh, there's still the giddiness, like, ooh, I'm about to take this out. And guess when you're going to take it out? August. Late July into August is where you're going to take it out. Leo season. Everyone's going to have their new drip on. It's going to be like, oh, I see you. I like the kicks. Look at that. But now we just got to, work out the psychic kinks. So okay. That being said, subtle awareness emanating from higher densities, as it appears, is not necessarily as is. And of course, we're all hallucinating what we're experiencing. So we have to take that to a grain of salt, knowing we're not really seeing what we're seeing. We don't even see the present. We're seeing the past, right? So just compound all this, and it helps you understand, and feeling the new you, the importance of relying on your psychic power and intuition. Most people do not rely on intuition. They guess. They make decisions out of fear. They'll call it intuition, but they're just emotionally manipulating people like a fraud. But now that doesn't mean that intuition is not a real thing. So that's the most important part about this Cancer season, where you will be feeling the new you. Now that we have evolved the basic facets of your identity in Aries, value in Taurus, and mindset, which is currently happening in Gemini, this is allowing you to reintroduce yourself to your psychic potential while you are integrating on this Noah's Ark ride a totality of a system of beliefs that you didn't begin to integrate since 1995, with which some of you weren't even born. So for some of you, this is your very first time. For me, it's my first time too, because I was like 5 years old when it last happened. But for some of you, this isn't your first time. Maybe 95, you were 30, you were 60. You know what I mean? So it gives you a lot more perspective. Leo season really going to be one hell of a stage to be on. But this is going to develop the clairsenses and the depth of your character and where you're from beforehand. So once again, welcome to feeling the new you. All right. That was a crazy long introduction. If you look at the dictionary definition of psychic, you have relating to or denoting faculties or phenomena that are apparently inexplicable by natural law. Basically, it's talking about and Vamar, thank you. I got your Venmo. Basically, it's talking about psychic ability. Okay. And Vamar, please please email me your chart in advance, so I will be able to do that beforehand. Yeah, so relating to the solar mind, psychic power is Cancer. It's the power of your mind, right? And then there's the noun, a psychic, a person considered or claiming to have psychic powers, a medium. Of course, given to the underdeveloped study of this outside of debunking it, there's a whole world of now understanding that is getting ready to be discovered with this and understood with this, and getting rid of old, you know, terms like medium, fortune teller, prophet. We're going to have updated lexicon based on real events people are experiencing it with it, and a postmodern society and culture. So Cancer is the individual cardinal sign, the water sign, that is the final of the 4 individual signs. And Cha, thank you. I got that. Aries is the fire individual, Taurus is the earth individual, the body, Gemini is the air individual, your individual thoughts, and then Cancer is your individual feelings, feeling and understanding who you are. So in relation to, of course, this nature and quality of psychic power, it's very important to understand that this is a natural quality of who you are. And let me kind of just hit this home. Right now, I got an email from somebody. As you can see, it says, "Concerned Christian, please watch the dangers of whatever." This is, what does the Bible say about reading tarot? So this is like a very crazy psyop, in the sense where that person genuinely believes that they're trying to steer me in the right path by having me watch a YouTube video about what someone who doesn't read tarot or claims to have read tarot or practices astrology does. They have made taboo the whole notion of being psychic because of a begging the question fallacy of what they believe in their book you're supposed to do. Never mind the fact that this book was written by man, despite claims of being inspired. even though you could argue that some of the text is plagiarized from older religions. So this is very important because the last two Pluto cycles, where we have Catholicism and Protestantism breaking away from each other, influenced the previous Pluto cycle of missionaries spreading Protestantism, Christianity, and Catholicism, all right, with the way these countries were colonized, coming back around now. And the remnants of this is not a joke. This is a thing of the past. Like, people, there's going to be so much more of an openness and understanding psychic power and ability as aligned to science, instead of science saying it is pseudoscience, and understanding that reading tarot, reading astrology doesn't mean you are channeling demons. All right. So this, let's look at what it is in reality. I'm being sent a video of someone's fear of me. Someone sees me reading tarot and doing astrology, and they said concerned Christian, but concern is not expressed through sending YouTube links to people you've never met. The message of Christianity is to heal the sick, feed the poor, visit the orphans and the prisoners. Actual work, you feel me? Showing and preaching your faith instead of shoving it down people's throats. And the reason why people do this is because it is fear-based. They are afraid of you, just like they're sending this to me. How many people are in your life projecting towards you that, oh, what you do goes against my beliefs, I believe what you do is evil, when realistically, based in reality, there's nothing real to assert that. The Bible that you want me to base off a Deuteronomy verse or a Revelations verse in the New or Old Testament was written by a man claiming to be inspired by God. There is no basis in reality. Literally, there's no basis in reality to assert that anything that we are doing is evil outside of you not liking that belief. And years worth of you expressing this and not really providing any proof other than hearsay, or, you know what I mean, getting some ex this to talk about, oh, I was possessed by a demon, to the effect that you have to lie and create spookism to like drive people away from discovering themselves, is disgusting and it's sick. All right. And now let's flip it, right? The concerned Christian has never read tarot. They have no experience giving people consultations. They have never read a natal chart. They have no experience doing this. It's a practice. It's not a hustle. It's not a scam. It's a practice. All right. So let's keep it a buck. If I've grown up being taught the Bible. I know the Bible more than concerned Christians that try and like tell me to read the Bible, which is crazy. But like, if I didn't read the Bible ever, right, and I wanted to tell you, oh, I think Christianity is a cult, I think Christianity is evil, how do you serve a God like that, right? And I would know, like, pastors have raped babies and they've stolen money from congregations, right? If I told you I've never read the Bible, you would not take me serious. You would not take me serious. You wouldn't want to hear anything that I have to say about Christianity or Islam or whatever you believe in. You wouldn't want me to say anything about chemistry if I've never read a periodic table. Do you get what I'm saying? So this double standard being twisted to where so many of you are Reiki healers, so many of you are tarot readers, so many of you are astrologers, so many of you do human design, and we are experiencing ignorance in the form of people who don't practice these things. From the outside looking in, they genuinely believe, oh, it's fake, I don't have to practice it. But they have never practiced it. They have no experience practicing it. They will tell you they've never once practiced it. They don't have 10,000 hours doing it. You cannot allow those people to tell you what you do. You cannot allow these people to tell you that what you're doing is fake when they themselves don't even believe in that logic. And if you don't believe me, do to them what they're doing to you. Take their profession and tell them you don't think it's right. And they will ask you, do you do what I do? So ponder the irony of that. And that lets you know that lack of intellect in engaging it, that non soundness, all right, in this lets you know they're not operating from a logical place. So they must be operating from a demonic place, an emotional place. You have to literally unpeel these layers. What is it about what you're doing that has them acting irrationally? I have just broken down to you right now how this is pure irrationality, where a concerned Christian, never mind the fact that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So, like, there's no reason you should be concerned with what I'm doing. You act like I'm worshiping the devil, which is crazy, right? So, I just wanted to call that out. I have exposed how a concerned Christian is acting irrationally because actions I take in my authenticity, lived in truth, go against their beliefs with which they identify with. So now they feel like I'm attacking them. We know it's irrational because it's no way logical or rational that you're going to talk about something you have not practiced at all to someone who has. You, by your own logic, would say it's not. So this is what I'm saying. But we'll go and listen to a meteorologist and then tell somebody happy birthday. Stay woke, as the kids say. All right. This is why we're pretty serious about what we do concerning this, because there's not too many people holding space. In order to keep this discourse alive before the proper research is done, right? You have astrophysicists telling you that constellations are zodiac signs, making a fool out of themselves, taking advantage of the fact that they reach with their broadcast more people, not knowing that they're destroying their ethos in the process in the long term. And these people think they can rely on just suppressing information. Well, they finna learn, they finna have a rude awakening. And then what happens after you expose this logic? You get hit with ad hominems. So just like I casually pointed out the unsound nature of this logic, what happens after? Oh, well, that's why you're a scammer. Oh, well, that's why you're a loser. That's why you're a lame. I'm literally showing you how demon possession, a lot of people wouldn't see this as demon possession. These are coming from people who claim to worship God, who claim to come from a logical space. So they're hitting you with the straw man and then following up with the ad hominem. A lot of you don't even know you're demon slaying just by spitting logic. Telling you that right now. And many of you had to face this for several years, especially, yes, okay, and semantics, arguing semantics. Anybody with that, lack of security within themselves that cannot be okay with disagreeing with you and has to do that, they don't really know what they think they know. And a lot of stuff is just performance, acting like they know what they know until it comes time to actually apply it. So we just speaking truth over here. That's why that's why I'm very confident about my ability to read the stars. You guys know I don't miss. I'm not a fraud. I don't scam people. I think I would have been exposed if I'm out here stealing people's money. So I can stand on that integrity. And that's the part of this Cancer season, feeling the new you. You, through Taurus, you have value you can stand on. Do you know how many idiots are out here saying, oh, they don't believe in astrology? You don't believe in Spanish. You either know Spanish or you don't. So, like, it speaks a lot to really be able to stand in integrity, knowing that I can talk about this field of expertise that I am an authority in any space. I can go to a room of skeptics and their echo chamber and give them the good word and read their time, not ducking smoke from anybody. And this is the attitude and mindset we're walking into. I'm using myself in as example of how you're also doing this with people around you, regardless of your profession, regardless of what it is you do and believe. All right. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all helped me really become at this level to interface with you guys and learn through, how all these, reflections apply to you, relate to you. So, like, just let you know, we are out here. And I know there's a whole lot of people who are not happy about that. And here's just one example. I'm not trying to say that she's hating too. I really feel she genuinely in her heart believes that she's steering me down the right path. But what do you know? The road to hell is paved with such well meaning intentions. And that's why you have to be on point out here. So moving forward, we're getting ready to integrate the character we've evolved and built. And people don't like when you disagree with their beliefs. That is what lets you know who someone truly is. When you tell them no, when they have to actually open their mind to be challenged. The mark of a mature adult is how well they can allow their beliefs to be challenged. Nowadays, everyone is so sensitive. You challenge what they say or belief, you're automatically dissing them. I was not dissing you when I was telling you that you look fat in that dress. I'm sorry, you just look a little big. All right. And that's the worst example to use. But it's like I wasn't dissing you when I said your song was trash. Your song was trash. I was hopefully you learn from that. I'm not saying other people don't have to like it, but now you're hating. You're not allowed to challenge other people anymore. And before they cancel Virgo, because Saturn's in Pisces, and now you officially can't critique anything, just enjoy it now while you can, okay? Because this is going to really be the last arc before everything really changes throughout the rest of July all the way, well, August all the way to February. So that being said, okay, just to make sure we got that clear. Whew, it was intense. All right. Shit is about to explode when Saturn enters Aries. I promise you. If we're not already in the midst of war, so that's why this year is really setting up for that. It's the end of the old world as we know it. So with that being said, as we're taking this mindset into here, I just wanted to express that and share that because there's still a lot of people where when you say psychic, they look at you strange. And of course, it has horrible, poor representation, but everyone has psychic potential. So just keep that in mind. When you use the word psychic, despite the ways people have been conditioned throughout popular culture, media, and scientific, I put that in quotes, scientific fields for you to literally train yourself to see it, you're reaching that critical point where it's actually weird to think psychic ability is fake. And you're going to experience this very, very, very powerfully this year through your own enhancement of psychic abilities. So the fire signs are going to be feeling very vulnerable as water is in their water houses. Aries, this is going to have you feel home in private issues. Leo, this is going to have you feel more into your beliefs and unconscious habits. And Sagittarius, you're going to break through into drawing boundaries and feeling how much deeper intimate you can get with people who are not lying sacks of shit. Now for earth signs, we do have your air houses being activated her. And Taurus, you're going to be feeling your new mindset. You're activating new psychic abilities. Virgo, this is a completion of the arc over the next 3 years. You're getting ready to bring in with Jupiter in your 10th house. Okay, you're leveling up success. So this is really important, Virgo. This year is like, who are your friends now before shit really gets to popping? Like your friends this year versus next year is about to be so different. Because next year you've already leveled up your career. Now everyone wants to get to know you. So what a lot of people don't understand for Virgo is they're looking at their friends now while the whole world is against them and seeing, all right, who really has my back? You know what I'm saying? Because once this starts to pop off next year, it's very deep. And then Capricorn, you're seeing who you can control and call them your partner. I'm just joking. This is going to have you feel your partnerships. This is going to help you feel who your new ops are, who you just decide to just say fuck you to, and who you're going to actually form more partnerships with. But this is more relative to your interpersonal relationships versus having to establish a partnership, but you probably will because Venus is in your 7th house. That being said, in the sense where it's open for you. That being said, air signs, your earth houses is getting activated. Gemini, you're feeling how valuable you are and can be, and it's money. It's going to be a lot of money. Libra, you're going to be feeling what you can do and how your career is about to level the fuck up next year, whether people are ready for it or not. It's getting ready to complete the cycle you began 2017. Okay. And this is going to really just kind of help you feel, who are you taking with you to the top, and who is just not a good look. They just, and trust me, that's going to hit a lot for Libra, because so much happened in 6 months. Back in your birthday of 2023, there are people who you looked good with who now it's like, no, I can't be seen with you right now. I can't. So like, you're gonna just sort through that, you know what I'm saying? And I want to laugh so hard because Libra, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, Aquarius. All right, this is, you're gonna feel how you should live your life. You're gonna be feeling what your lifestyle feels like. You're gonna be feeling how to put everything together. All right. So water signs. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna be talking your shit. You are definitely gonna be talking your shit. And congratulations. I'm gonna try. I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is what it is. Cancer, you're gonna be feeling yourself, literally and figuratively. You're gonna be you. It's not gonna be how you're gonna feel yourself next year, though. Next year is gonna be like you're debuting chapter 1 again, and it's like, oh, I really got my groove back. But this year is just the recap of the past decade. Like, this is gonna be the year where you're like, I'm really him. I mean, I knew it, I felt it, but I really am him. I really am her. You're gonna recap the last decade, like, I thought I was real. I knew that you was, hey, you was lying. I was right. And then next year is where you move in really renewed. Like, okay, let's, now that you've realized you are him or her, next year you're moving forward as, I'm him, I'm her. Not that you weren't doing that previously, but it's going to hit so much different this year. This year, you still are going to find out how much people were lying to you. Really, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like, this is the year you're gonna realize, I knew you were talking shit. I knew you were talking shit. But I have to pause this one because it's that deep, Cancer. Cancer, you've been getting gaslighted so hard. Like, you're a threat. People, you will kind of just shift the energy real quick, and it will kind of throw people off. So you're really gonna find out this year, I knew he was talking shit. I knew she was talking shit because you pulled up on them and you know they lied. You know, they're like, no, I never said that. So this is just the last realization this year where you're like, oh, I knew it was smoke. Oh, I knew that. And that's what's going to have you step forward next year. Like, they really ain't shit. I really don't fuck with other people. They really are corny as fuck. And then Scorpio, you're going to be feeling how you're ready to practice what you preach. Seriously. So like let's take it back to the beginning of this year. You were kicking some new game. You were preaching a new word. Now you get to practice it. You integrated it into your lifestyle. You put it around. You started living it. Now you get to show people. You get to pop out and show people. All right. Or get shown. And Pisces, you are going to feel your creativity. You're just going to be bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. You're going to be trying out new dance moves. You're going to be like that people are going to steal from you and not give you credit for. You're just going to be feeling yourself. See, Pisces is different to me, y'all. I'm not going to lie. Because Cancer is mature enough to cry. You know what I'm saying? Pisces ain't afraid to cry. Like, I can't look at you like you're normal when you love to cry. Pisces like loves to cry. I don't understand that. Like, you ever see someone crying and you're like, is anything wrong? No, I'm just crying. Like, you see the motherfuckers who be crying for no reason. Stay away from those people. Stay far the fuck away from a motherfucker that can just cry just because. All right, you have the people that'll cry for everything, like, oh, why are you crying now? I have a new cupcake. That's a little different. These motherfuckers actually like to cry. I don't know how y'all saw that and didn't see. That was one of the first red flags I ever had with Pisces. Like, you look like you enjoy this shit. You're not even sad for real. Who cries when they're not sad? That's crazy to me. I don't understand that. I don't get that. I'm not trying to understand that. It is what it is. And y'all be doing too much. But I just wanted to say that. Anyway, there you go. So we have the relevant transits here. All right. At least when Sagittarius does it, you know they about to do some wild shit. You ever see a Sagittarius crying and laughing? You just need to run for your life and don't look back. All right. Especially if they just start like run and don't ever come back. That's it. You ever see them? Because they can't even cry regular. They have to laugh too. And or if they just get cool, if they go from being angry to no, it's actually you need to run. You need to leave with your life. Go. All right, that's it. It is what it is. So anyway, we do have Sun King Kunks Pluto. We have the Sun square in the North Node. It's gonna trine Saturn. All right, it's gonna sextile Uranus. All right, that one's gonna be crazy. All right, and then it's gonna try Neptune. All right. The Pluto is first decan, the next two is the second decan, and the last two is the last decan. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about before we go into each of the transits, let's talk a little bit about of the flow to that. It's hitting Pluto, then it's hitting the nodes, then it's gonna hit Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So the first thing that's happening is we're integrating power. That's happening right now, by the way. We are integrating power. So by the way, when is all this happening? I got you on the dates. We're going to go into when each of these happen. But if we just take the season, that's the flow of the season. The very first thing that has already started over the past 2 days, we're integrating power. And we'll talk about why that's intense. We're integrating supernatural power. We are at the degree, the 150-degree angle, where we're taking power we've awakened and we're putting it all together. We're feeling how to make sense of it. We're feeling the energy. This is going to account for the spike of intensity for how much more energy you harness, especially if you can't go to sleep, which is vague to say because there's all sorts of reasons why you can't go to sleep. But if relative to the past couple of days, you felt more intense in your emotion, you're currently integrating it, right? So we're going to integrate like intense dark power, and then we're going to come into a deeper understanding of your mission. After you come into the deeper understanding of your mission, you're going to tie that into what you currently believe and reinforce this system of what you believe. And I'm talking about things you're wishing for as well, metaphysical fantasies or beliefs that you're going to come into analytical insight about, right? Then you're going to open the doorway of innovating a brand new mechanism. And then you're going to fully tie into a fantasy. That trine to Neptune is going to be ridiculous. All right. So let me kind of explain why this is amazing. And let's actually start with the King Kunks of Pluto. So 22nd of June, 2 days ago, we're about 3 days in, right? I want you to see that 1 degree of Pluto Aquarius to Cancer. And the reason why that is very important is if you go back to January 19th of 2024, we had the sun in the sky conjunct Pluto, and both were in the constellation of Capricorn, if you want to take it there too. This conjunction was a 0-degree conjunction. This 0-degree conjunction that we had activated was a series of 0-degree conjunctions that we have had with the sun and Pluto since 2008. Pause for dramatic effect. The best way I can think of it is imagine if 2008 you bought a monstrously huge plot of land, and like you're not going to take 2 years to cultivate that ground. it's going to be a decade-long project, let's just say. It's a lot of land, right? So the first year, you go through the initial land and you start to cultivate it. You get rid of the grounding, you do that part, you come back. Next year, you do the next part. And what do you notice? Every year, there's that much more land that you've cultivated versus now, last the 29 degree of Pluto, the activation that we did. I hope this resonates for you. Now, at this point, you've reached every single part of the land that you own, and you have finally begun the process of cultivating the final part of the land in how it relates with everything you have. That's going to hit different than, say, 2017 or 2000 and like 13, when you were at like the middle of the field. Now this field represents your body, and at different points, awakening through trauma, through learning lessons, through graduating, deeper facets of your body and character, awakening the power of your body, awakening the force, the God power, your connection to the collective. This is generational, of course. And now that it's moved into Aquarius, we're going from body to mind, right? Now with Pluto and Aquarius, we've cultivated the land. So now we can build infrastructure on the land. That's what the next 20 years is. So now we're 1 degree. We've just cultivated the land. Now it's time to build infrastructure. We understand the land. We know where the oil is. We know the value of the land. I hope this is resonating, because now that 29 degree of Pluto that activated this max level of power is now 1 degree Aquarius. That 0 degree conjunction has now become a 150 degree conjunction. And at the very end of the season, it's not only going to be 180, you will be harvesting supernatural energy. What does that look like? You're going to be using the force. So I need to see Star Wars. I'm sorry. Someone keeps asking me if I see Star Wars. But like, for those of you who've seen Star Wars, for those of you who've seen Hunter x Hunter, this is going to be more of integration of your capacity to use the force. Not everyone's going to use it like or swinging lightsabers, but now humanity at a certain level is getting ready to integrate this ability. So when we start harvesting it versus now, this is you putting it all together. You're going to be experiencing your own self using the force to innovate basic tasks that you've done your whole life. And it's important to understand that because you've already evolved the first part of you, this is what's opening up for you to tap into this latent potential, that you have more maturity and experience to work with. The huge theme of this is what used to happen to you unconsciously, thinking about someone and then they call you, seeing synchronicities, you're getting ready to do consciously. We are turning unconscious, or we're turning conscious incompetence to conscious competence to unconscious competence. We're finally reaching the stage where we're stepping into conscious competence. And then unconscious competence is going to really come in heavy, like near the end of the decade. But this is crazy because we're also coming into unconscious competence of what we mastered previously, so that we can now come into a new cycle of learning and development. And I know this is not easy for some of you to hear, because some of you just don't believe in this psychic bullshit. And the thing is, put your money where your mouth is. None of you will ever put that on anything. I could put this on everything. And what I'm saying is the fucking truth. But here's the thing. If you don't believe it, then just practice the scientific method. I have manifestation videos down below. For right now, as you can see, we're 2 days into this transit. So all you have to do over the next 28 days is to watch any of those videos down below and practice it. You will see the ultimate guide to the law of manifestation. You will see no action needed manifestation video. Literally try it over the next 20 days. If you feel like you don't have the ability to assume anything is true and through repetition make it real, which is a basic psychic function that you do every day, whether you're conscious of it or not, practice it. And then at the end of this season, tell me that it did not change your life completely. Because now the mechanics of these, you're going to notice a significant increase in potency. You're going to notice a significant increase in results Similar to you riding a bike, the way you've ridden a bike when you just started riding is not like after a year or two where it kind of steps into, you know what I mean, more fluidity and you're just used to it. And yes, Sammy Ingram is the motherfucking GOAT. Okay, so yeah, you go watch a couple of those videos of Sammy. One of those videos is two of them videos of Sammy, and it is what it is. She fire. I'm not even gonna lie. So you go watch you some Sammy. It is what it is. You're gonna learn something. Okay, she like the godmother of this shit right now. So with that being said, we can command ourselves to see numbers on cards. You're creating a subjective language that interfaces with your objective reality. You are creating a subjective language that interfaces with your objective reality. You are creating an intuitive, subjective language that interfaces with your objective reality. And the subjective nature of it means that it is allowed to be delusional in some aspects because you're going to be able to tie it consistently to patterns that are objective and that can be replicated. And this is where this will begin, because you've activated everything in place that's needed to facilitate this. So now this 150-degree angle that started breaking through the ground when it was in Taurus in May, I'll reach out to her, is most definitely getting ready to integrate. So that's the beginning of this. Now keep in mind, this is supernatural energy. This is so controversial to say. People could look at me like I'm all crazy, even though I just broke down the math. Easy, right here. Basic math, basic geometry. That's it. So, like, with that being said, this is a collective shift. This is a collective awakening. And this intensity over the past 2 days, mind you, by the way, 24th means that the sun is 3 degrees. So that means it's making a 153-degree angle. 150 to 180 is going to happen this entire Cancer season. So this quincunx is going to be tightening. What is the opening quincunx? We've activated everything, right? We have this color palette, we have this color palette, we have this color palette. And now what we're getting ready to do is we're integrating it. I want to use blue and yellow. We're putting it all together to create a story. Once it's 180 degrees on stage in Leo, we're going to take our picture and be like, look what I painted, bitch. Look at what I painted, bitch. That's the harvest. Then we're going to get ready to take that on tour with us. So this is very important. You're putting together in neural pathways the mechanics of how, keyword how, you are now integrating the feeling of the supernatural power. And this is where you will see who people are when you challenge their beliefs. Are you immediately going to be ad hominem? Oh, you're an idiot. You're a dog. When nothing that you're saying is based in reality, you're just mad and in your feelings. A lot of people are going to be in their fucking feelings this Cancer season, especially when they realize that maybe certain beliefs or thought processes that they have stood on to shit on and deny others hasn't really been right the way they thought it was. And now instead of taking accountability, it's easy to just project those emotions on you, and they're in for a rude awakening because you are once again integrating the feel, your personal feeling of supernatural power, the force. How does the force feel to you? Every single day, this is going to increase in intensity. So tomorrow it's going to be even more intense. That's what's having you piece together everything since the beginning of January that has been revealed to you, and it gets so much better. So coming into, of course, the 2nd of July, now to the 2nd of July, is taking the seeds you sowed in April with the sun conjunction to the north node, and it's finally 90 degrees getting ready to break through the ground. Okay. So it's giving you a deeper insight into how you can actually walk your mission. I know, for example, the presence of exorcisms and house cleanings and getting rid of evil spirits has been opening up for me, which is now a deeper shade of the original mission and intention, let's say, to slay evil. I'm just using this as an example. So in air, when the sun was in April, I'm like, I know this is the type of work I want to do. And now that it's squaring in Cancer, I'm gaining greater depth. It's like, okay, the way I want to do this like an exorcist. I want to do this like a demon slayer, right? Who slays demons, right? And that's just one example, but you are being revealed this through your awareness. And with Venus and Mercury, conversation and your heart is being wrapped around these deeper realizations. So, up until this point, you activated the identity of this destiny path. I'm going to be a track runner, right? Okay, cool. Taurus manifested this. All right, I'm going to get the cleats that I need. I'm going to get the shin guards. I'm going to get all, this uniform. And then, of course, you activated the mindset. You started to develop your abilities as far as, okay, I can run a 200 meter. I'm starting to develop lingo that I pick up on because I'm in the track field, right? I'm starting to understand, oh, that's called a sprint, right? So we've activated all the pieces in place. Now, the 90 degrees of this, since you activated the mission to become a track star, is coming. The seeds are breaking through the ground. Now I'm feeling more in my role as a track. I'm feeling comfort. I'm breaking through comfort zones, right? Now that I have my cleats, now that I know what a sprint is, now I know what a sprint versus, distance running versus jumping. Now I'm going to understand, you know what? I think I'm meant to be a jumper. Yeah, I'm going to do triple jump. I'm going to do long jump. And this is going to an integrating this from just being a track runner to now a long jumper. That's a part of track and field. That's going to prepare me for the harvest, Libra. That's where we go on our track meet. What happens before Libra? We have Virgo. We have a montage. So this is where we're going to have a whole season of grinding and perfecting that triple jump. So this is me feeling, okay, I think I'm a triple jumper. Then Leo is me practicing my triple or performing my triple jump and realizing, oh, I have a technique. I have a talent in triple jumping. And then Virgo is where we triple jump over and over and over and over and over and over. And then Libra is where we go on that meet and then we triple jump and win first place. I told you so. Like this is, I'm breaking down, and you can come back to this in the future and be like, damn, he really did call out step by step, because this isn't just psychic ability. This is science. I'm just basing it on the math. So we're aligning these cycles with how we can integrate our character. And that's why this is very significant, because at this point, now this is the official checkpoint to the eclipse. The last eclipse we had was from October to April, and you guys were there. You remember before the eclipse in October, I was like, hey, this is preparation for war. This is the 6-month preparation for war. And what happened shortly before then? Israel started to go to war with Hamas, right? And then right before the Aries new moon eclipse, which it's not like I predicted it, it was written in the stars. I just said that to show how everyone else who was reading the stars right, they called it too. You know what I mean? Like it's very important, because I want to show you how anyone can do this. They're just suppressing this information so you don't. It doesn't have to be a conspiracy. I don't know if it is or not, but this is just what's happening. So right before the Aries eclipse, I said, hey, we're no longer preparing for war. You know what I'm saying? We at the war. Russia declared a state of war. This is near March. This is near April, right? So with that being said, you know what I mean? Now at the halfway point, which is going to intensify these conflicts, right? This is putting you in a position in between Aries, the individual, and Libra, the social, right? The political sign right before the elections in November, to really begin to integrate and put together everything you've realized, put together everything you have put together, all right, in a position to realistically establish all that needs to be established. Okay. So, with that being said, from now until then, as you are integrating all of this, this is putting you not only in this position to make sense of this in your own way, but the first decan subruled by the moon is indeed, okay, putting you in a position to charge up the integration of this power you're awakening. So this is going to intensify your clear senses. This is going to really shift how much more powerfully you feel with the mindset you've established. And all of this occurring during the full moon cycle of Capricorn coming into the new moon is also very amazingly preparing you to activate this new driven feeling. Mercury is opposite Pluto at this point, intensifying how well you can communicate this socially towards other people and how intense it'll be as well. So this is what leads us to now the trine in Saturn. So we had the July 2nd that brings in the second decan subruled by Pluto. And it's important to establish that now, up until next week, is bringing in this initial integration with Pluto during the full moon. So we're harvesting power, right? We're understanding at great length how these budding emotions that apply our new mindsets are not only bringing us immediate results, but it is shaping and shifting the way we feel. Welcome to God Squad AP in a very powerful way that now once we step into July 2nd and the moon is now balsamic, getting ready to be new, we're concluding old ways we felt because we've harvested greater direction of character and focus in the cardinal sign. We're moving our boat in that right direction. Okay. Then we have the post new moon transit with the trine to Saturn. By this stage, we're continuing to integrate this supernatural power. And it's important to really stress integration because this is where it's all being put together. This is where you are mastering something and building consistency and repetition. So you're not missing. You're getting ready to break through more evidence and behavior and routine through this habit. Okay. That being said, the square to the nodes is helping you understand more your mission. And then we're activating this new psychic power. We're activating these new feelings. We're activating this deeper understanding and the direction you take your character. And now, while we're understanding the detailed analysis with the moon in Virgo of what we're feeling and how this intuitive language is connecting with our ability to induce or deduce analytically, we are reinforcing our metaphysical beliefs or our total beliefs moving forward with these feelings. So if we go 30 days ago, the square we had in Gemini was those seeds we planted in March breaking through the ground by a thought process that aligns with our beliefs. So I had the belief in March that, you know what? I really do create my reality and I'm going to challenge this. I really do believe that if I focus on an idea, I can make it real. And this belief was supported by previous cycles where I have receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, money flows to me naturally and easily. And within 24 hours, I got a notification about my TuneCore saying that I have unclaimed money. And in another instance, I did it. I had a 401k I was paying myself, and I had $700 I didn't claim. Right. So I wanted to actually test this more. And what happened Gemini season in late May, June, I broke those seeds through the ground by programming my brain with a mindset and thought process that, like seeds growing through the ground, I started to experience a true basis for. Now that belief was becoming more of a reality because I was already experiencing the shift of my mindset support this belief. And it helped me adjust my mindset because things that about my belief that personally weren't true, I was able to adapt. All right. Now, a seed that breaks through the ground is not finished growing, it's not harvested. Just like that mindset that broke through, you still have to, through consistency, develop. So now in Cancer, that mindset, we're going to drive our vehicle by applying that mindset and feeling in that direction. So Gemini adjusted the direction that we're feeling in, and this is you fully driving forward that mindset. This level of integration is going to intensify the effectiveness, the efficacy, and the potency of this mindset and the results you gain it, as this will now go from 120 to 150 degrees in Leo. And that's what leads to one of the most important transits here, right before the end, as we are integrating the 150-degree angle from Moon in Sag to Sun in Cancer. We have the 60-degree angle from Uranus with the Sun here. And this is where, be very mindful, once again, especially when you're well spoken and you know what it is. The more you know what it is you're doing and talking about, the more ad hominems you're going to get, the more attacks on your character you're going to get, because they can't really outsmart you. You're proving that they're stupid. So the best they can do now in their feelings with a bruised pride is to just call you names. All right, I'm telling you. So this is going to be intensified here, because God forbid people actually admit that they're wrong as fuck. It's better to just make you feel bad for basically showing that, boy, I promise you, the most mature looking people are immature. They think like children. All right, it is what it is. And you got to be pop or mom and just bad child. And you can do this with your own logic, whereas they're going to spew rhetoric. All right, this is just facts. So, with that being said, the activation of seeds sown in May with the Sun and Uranus in Taurus, which were innovative seeds you are growing like a beanstalk. Because remember, this was integration from Pluto. And now, okay, so this is innovating your natural senses and your awareness of how much more energy you can harness extra dimensionally, how much more innovative your values are. This is the 60-degree open door to feeling this now. Gemini manifested the innovation of your thoughts because your values have innovated, and now you're feeling it. And in feeling these natural values and feeling and adjusting to what is in your body, this is going to open up even more innovation. And to put more reality to this, or sense to this, Taurus activated the physical, and Cancer is going to align the psychic with the physical, the intuitive with the physical, to be aligned with your body. And that's why this is very important, off the heels of a trine to, of course, as you can see it, Neptune. This is going to be one of the most psychic days of the year. And this is what's going to, relative to the 29-degree square Gemini, which, just like Saturn, now disillusioned you. It's going to have you move forward with everything about your psychic ability you can trust and creatively move forward. So from this point, this is where now, you know what I'm saying? Up until this point, you might have been confused because you were from now to 30 days ago, or from the 29-degree Jupiter, or rather June 19th, right? From June 19th to June 21st, you're developing a new sense of calibration and comfort. Because if you previously doubted your ability to create your reality or your ability to use psychic ability, but now you got disillusioned because you trusted your intuition, or you started to break through in your experience of trusting synchronicities, now what you weren't comfortable with before, you're starting to be more comfortable with. You, throughout this Cancer season and feeling the new you, are becoming comfortable with an exaggeratedly more powerful nature of trusting your psychic abilities. So this is going to, by the time it's trine, have you move forward and have fun with aspects that you might have been uncomfortable expressing because you done leveled up. All right. And that's what's going to really set off Leo season. And the importance of that Leo season is the fact that the sun will be opposite Pluto. So this is the official 180-degree harvest from 0 degrees to Scorpio season, where Pluto will go back into Aquarius. Okay, so this is going to be harvesting supernatural awakening. And you're going to be on stage getting ready to socially integrate you in your new clothes. But now you more psychic than you ever been. And you're more hip to the bullshit that, you know, you might have been caught before, right? Just like that lady who caught me, like, well, do you even live here? And I didn't hear what she said. I'm like, what? And she was like, nothing. See, she not gonna be able to catch me Leo season like that, because I would have already adjusted and I'll be on point. I'll be like, what you say? Oh yeah, I do live here. I do live here. What, do you live here? Do you live here? And it's just not gonna be the same. All right, we're not gonna get caught slipping. Okay, so with that being said, all right, in conclusion, this is going to be a very psychic season. People are going to slip deeper into their feelings. And this is where the solid foundations in Taurus season that you had to build, if it was built on anything real, you're not going to drown like a fish who is, well, the fish don't drown in water, but you're not going to drown. You made it through the winds of Gemini that are blowing you. You are standing on a firm foundation. So now when the water levels rise, your character is going to be further imprinted. You've taken care of your beliefs. I would hope so. You did the work. So you're going to reinforce that through these feelings. And this is going to have you feel so much more on point in preparation for the opposition, where you're ready to showcase this and perform it. All right, which will lead to into further mastery and then presentation. So with that being said, for those of you who would like insight around how this is going to affect your zodiac signs, you can click the description box below. I have a report down below that is, you know what I'm saying? See, Iris, I'm so glad I can express this, because you're a threat. This is why people have to engage in negative psychological tactics instead of being real, because they're weak. No one is honest anymore. And this is what's going to expose those of you who maintain sincerity and don't let this world corrupt you. All right. So I'm going to talk about this in that report, the cycle between Neptune and the sun. As you can see, it's opposing Neptune. I talk about that. And then I go into, of course, the zodiac signs and how to influence the zodiac signs. So for those of you who want deeper insight and you don't want to sit through maybe perhaps a 2-hour lecture about this, it's nice, it's quick, it kind of revisits these points. They're just $10 each. If you are a part of Infinity Club, I've already uploaded it, so you could check that out. And Infinity Club members, when I do the tribe reports tomorrow and the rest of the week, I'm going to break down the signs so you can catch the replay. So that's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to do the live readings right now. Being truth is a threat. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people who've given their souls over to soulless beings, who've compromised their integrity to make a quick buck, and you are going to be their weakness. So don't let these losers who refuse to walk the path correctly talk to you about anything. Don't let anybody who does not have a fraction of experience doing good work you've done in integrity make you feel less than you are, or talk to you like they know what you're doing. This Cancer season, put the juice on it. You're feeling the new you. Clap back in any way you want, and you are going to be perfecting budding psychic abilities with this full and new moon that's going to get ready to blast you forward into a very exciting summer. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to do these live readings. Lamar, thank you very much. We see at your 23 degrees rising Taurus, and you have one of the most beautiful Libra stelliums I've ever seen. I'm going to keep on telling you that because it is mind-blowing. This is beautiful knowing that Saturn is in Cancer for you. So as a Taurus rising, this is going to activate an updated sense of abilities and skills, like updating the firmware on your phone. But as a Libra sun and moon, this updating and integrity of your attitude and emotional intelligence is going to be reflected in how you apply it in your career. as these planets will be making a 270-degree angle to your Libra sun, especially coming nearer to July 10th to July 20th. This is what's going to, relative to the 0-degree conjunction you formed October of 2023 in the eclipse, the completion of that cycle. So in completing this cycle over the next summer, this is going to exalt you forward. And this exaltation forward into your career is happening where? In your third house, coming back into this totality of integrity of how much more emotional intelligence you're going to express and how much more powerfully you will be in the position to establish all of this power, especially now in taking into account that Saturn is making a 240-degree in Pisces angle to your Saturn Cancer, getting ready for another Saturn return. So you are also concluding this cycle of development. And for those of you born in the mid 70s, that's the coolest thing about being born in the mid to late 70s. Uranus is opposite your Uranus, and Saturn has made it opposite your Saturn. If you're born from 74 to like the mid 80s, I would say like 82, 83. That is the coolest shit I've been seeing y'all go through. And the quality that you're going through is unlike what we're going to go through or what previous generations went through. It's fire. That quality, if you're like mid 70s to 82, you have just secured the finishing of a construction of an oil pipeline. So like you have struck oil and now you can direct, like you weren't able to directly harness it before. Now you have the pipeline. So countries are hitting you up like, hey, can we tap into your oil? And knowing that this was like a 50-year process, a 40, 50-year process is very rewarding. And it's having you be able to take advantage of your own natural quality, your own natural value. So with that being said, Vimar, this is very beautiful and it's going to prepare you for your eclipse. As of course, with your rising at the late Taurus, this is going to integrate the lifestyle you have been unlocking with the South Node here. So Cancer as a checkpoint here is making sure the old habits through other people as a Libra sun you are releasing, you are now able to, of course, replace with new mindsets that will integrate a new habit coming back into October. Okay, that's going to influence your work. That's going to influence how it is you work. That's going to influence the shifts in your career and what relationships you're adjusting in order to really move forward into new directions of your career, especially, of course, once again, with your 10th and 11th house being activated and the Chiron Taurus or Aries coming into Taurus, returning here. So a lot of this is milestone. And for you, it's shifting quintessentially the angle around what job you're working and how you're working it and with who you're working with. And now at this point, what skill sets you are now updating coming into next year with this. You guys stay blessed as always. I think this is another W stream. Had to get the good word out there. Fully expect people to try and play you because now they're bitter and salty. They tried to peer pressure you out of the direction you're walking. That didn't work because you know who you are. They tried to guilt and shame you off of what you have produced. That didn't work because you know your worth. And now they're trying to pretend that you don't know what you're talking about. And that's not going to work because you're speaking up. So I hope you enjoy this feeling of the new you. The best is yet to come. Please know that. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen,